know y'all in here. Let me know y'all in here. So I have a false start like last time.
I don't funky every.
Let me know y'all in here. Here? Yeah, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? We live? All right, let's go. All right. Restart. I was talking for like 20 minutes. Start like in 30 seconds. I had to reset everything, y'all. I had to reset everything. Okay, I had to restart everything. I was talking on that never happened to me before. I was, cause I also had people on Twitter. So I was getting comments, but I'm like, I'm only getting comments every like 1 minute. And then I'm seeing some of y'all in the comments. I'm seeing Shayla in the comments, but y'all just like saying y'all ready for the show. I'm thinking y'all actually listening to me. So I'm over here. I'm like, I was literally through all my first topics, and I was going into the main topic, and I'm like, what y'all saying in the comment section ain't matching where I'm at right now. Like, why is it only a? And then I looked, and it said that. Then I went and looked, and it said I was live, and y'all was like, hell nah. So yeah, I kind of feel like a doofus right now. If I'm gonna tell you the whole truth. I kind of feel like a doofus because I was talking. I'm over here saying what's up to people in the chat. Y'all not hearing me. That's never happened before. So, but I'm glad y'all back. Shayla, Coach, BCU, Ben, FBA Maroon. What's up, Kamal? C. Diggs, Janice. Yeah, Gary Johnson. Yeah, so we back. So I had to go back because as I was talking about certain things, I was closing the window because I don't want to have a whole bunch of windows open. So I was like kind of talking, and when I was done with that story, I was closing the windows. So I had to go back and reset all my windows reset everything. But yeah. So anyway, we back. So I'm gonna start back at the beginning where I was. I'm not gonna cheat y'all. I'm gonna say everything that I didn't say or that I said earlier that y'all didn't hear. And if you're listening on Twitter, you're just gonna have to listen to me twice. All right. But what's up, Tammy? What's up, everybody up in here? Jacoby. Appreciate everybody for joining. We're going to talk about Godfrey dragging Wyclef into a diaspora war. We're going to talk about Cameron responding to Vic Mensa. But what did we tell y'all in the card reading for the year? This is the year of internal strife, internal struggle, internal beef. Why is this the year of internal beef? Because things can't go unchecked forever. And this is going on, I'm pretty sure, in your personal lives. Relationships you're in, people you know, family members, friends. Whatever's not right has to be addressed. This is the year of internal conflict. Internal conflict exists to address issues, very, very deep issues that hold you back from reaching the highest potential. And one of the deep issues going on in America right now is Black Americans are tired of our names in everybody's mouth, and then turn around being disrespected. We're tired of our culture in everybody's dance and everybody's music while being left out when giving credit. Skipping past us who made the culture here in America and giving credit to Africa or the Caribbean or Europe or Asia or anywhere other than us. We've been dealing with this for a long time and we are tired. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down that 154 Africa podcast and Godfrey lying. Y'all know on this channel, I've been for the most part kind of neutral. Like I still like Godfrey, whatever. I don't know Godfrey personally at all. I've only seen him I've seen him around a fair amount of times, but I don't know Godfrey. But I also am seeing more and more what he's doing. And my chat room, y'all been like, fuck Godfrey for like 2 years in the chat. Me personally, I've been more measured because I'm a more measured person. But I will say this. I remember when Corey Holcomb fell out with Godfrey. And although, I'm not one to question why two other people fall out, I thought Corey was going a little bit too hard. Now, I understand. Corey, Lord Jamar. Godfrey's a very sneaky, snaky. He comes off as a very sneaky, snaky person. And you're really going to see as we break down this interview with him dragging Wyclef Jean into a diaspora war that reading Wyclef's body language, he didn't want to be a part of. But Wyclef gave some wrong answers, not because Wyclef was being. I don't think Wyclef is being intentionally wrong. Wyclef just repeated commonly known history or commonly discussed history, not really understanding the nuances that of those of us who study America intensely. So I don't think Godfrey necessarily. I don't think not Godfrey. Wyclef. I don't think Wyclef necessarily wanted the fade, but Godfrey kind of threw him in the middle of the fire. So any backlash you get, Wyclef, blame Godfrey. He tossed your ass into that fire. And anybody else that plans on going into that 154 Africa podcast, them niggas are setting y'all up. Because we've said it here. As long as y'all think y'all gonna monetize y'all channels and bring us up, I'ma monetize my channels and check y'all. And so will other black channels. I'm sure I'm sure at some point Black Alpha's gonna talk about it. I'm sure the different Great Black Shark. I'm sure the other people are gonna talk about it too, because why not make money off y'all since y'all want to make money off us? But we make money off y'all through delivering the truth and the light of what's being said. So let's get into it. First off, this is what I was saying earlier. I can't believe y'all didn't see this. What's going on with Rolly Fingers? With Raleigh Fingers? Is he gonna submit to Tasha K? I made this meme. Y'all remember Raleigh Fingers, the baseball player? People was like, I didn't know Roland Martin was from Oakland. Nah. Raleigh Fingers, Hall of Fame pitcher. One of the finest pitchers in baseball history, Raleigh Fingers. I thought that name was real close, and I thought that name was fitting for Roland Martin because you got a Rolly Fingers that's going around allegedly with his little side piece, and I do mean little side piece. So is Rolly Fingers, is Roland Martin Fingers, is he gonna submit to Tasha K's request? Chat room, what y'all think? Y'all think Raleigh Fingers gonna do it? Yeah, like a lot of them youngsters on Twitter didn't get it. A lot of them youngsters on Twitter did not get it. They were like, he's not from Oakland. No, nigga, Raleigh Fingers. That's his new name, Rolly Fingers. What's up, Colin Martin? I said Colin Martin. We'll see. I don't know what's going on. We'll see. Let's keep going. We're going to get a few things out of the way. I want to start off with Cameron. Y'all know yesterday we talked about Vic Mensa talking about Cameron and the whole Africa thing. This whole Africa, Black American thing is exploding. And it's exploding exactly how I want it to explode. Chat room. Was this the channel 4 years ago? 4 or 5 years ago now. I hear other bigger channels saying it, and they're not giving credit from where they got the game from, and that's okay. That's okay. Everybody don't have integrity like that. But this is the channel that said 5, 6 years ago, we have to treat others the way we treat ourselves. And we have to forgive ourselves the way we forgive others. What's one of the ways we treat people as Black Americans when we totally dismiss them? We clown. Our power is in our tongue. Our tongue and what we say tends to cut deeper than any knife you can buy. You dig what I'm saying? Ass whoopings heal. But when you verbally ass whoop somebody, that sticks when they're not secure within themselves. I said, when we get to cracking jokes on these people, we got to start laughing at these people. Why should we be the only ones that are the victimized? We don't have to shoot nobody. We ain't got to do what they doing in South Africa. We ain't got to jump nobody. All we got to do is crack jokes. And through our cracking jokes, watch these people crumble. Press the number 3, chat room, if you remember me saying that. 5 years ago, when we crack jokes, people dissolve like the Wicked Witch of the West. Remember, which witch was that? When you threw water on her. Which one of them sorry-ass cartoons was that? You threw water on the witch and she dissolved? That's what our jokes do to people. Our jokes make them wither. They can't take it. They cannot take it. And so why do we have to be the only, why we getting gentrified? We getting people that are getting elected in our name and screwing us over. We're the last hired, first fired. All these things are going on. Why can't we not just can we at least laugh at it? Damn. So Cameron does that. Listen to his response to Vic Mensa.
Whole season, man. It's been a really eventful season. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get to that in a minute. We're going to most disrespectful word to me.
You were.
In Africa, because I didn't say that. I was repeating And that kid, what's his name, Sin? Sin is in the building, by the way, PT.
Yeah.
My nigga Zeke say everybody here, Sin is in studio today. But what's his name?
Vic Mensa?
Okay.
Yeah, Vic.
Yo, homeboy, why is you clickbaiting, talking about I said the people in Africa sin? Because I didn't say that. I was repeating what somebody said. You clickbaiting and you clout chasing. I'm disappointed in you. But what do I expect from a nigga with a Rockefeller tattoo on his neck?
He did say he was a fan of yours.
I don't give a fuck. See, that's what niggas do. They try to diss and then be like, but we cool.
Respectfully,
Yeah,
and
see,
all that.
that's perfect. And niggas ended on there saying he tried to go through my last name and this and that and this. Look, if you want to believe that, would you try to acknowledge, nigga? If you want,
Well, I skipped too far.
fuck out of here.
She said you was a...
I'm saying, but at the end of the day, I'm just trolling with the Rockefeller tattoo. I don't know why he has one. Jay-Z don't got one, but I'm just saying I don't really understand why he has a Rockefeller tattoo.
That's tough.
Yeah, I seen stuff, man. Especially when they broke up. What you do with that? You know what I'm saying? But he was on there saying he tried to go through my last name and this and that and this. Look, if you want to believe that, would you try to acknowledge, nigga? If you want, nigga, fuck out of here.
She said you was a slave owner. Giles' name.
I saw Cameron saying he's not an African and Africa stinks.
I'm not African. Sin went to Africa and told me people stink.
Now, obviously, this is
You're
ridiculous.
very clear. Cameron said, Sin told me he went to Africa and he told me Africa stinks. Now you got this orange peeling, orange head ass nigga trying to lecture Cameron. Listen to Cameron. Listen to this bullshit and listen to Cameron's response.
Disrespectful and ignorant, but I love Killer. So let's approach this empirically. Why don't we do a history of the name Cameron Giles? Giles is a medieval French name originally used by the followers of a one Saint Giles, a nigga that looked like this. Not exactly a striking resemblance, even if you put him in a pink fur. On the other
First
hand,
off, those pictures that you see are depictions, all right? A lot of those pictures that you see from people back then ain't how they really looked. So but it takes a learned motherfucker to know that. So let's listen to more of this ignorance this orange peeling nigga has to say about what Cameron had to say.
and there were plenty of slaveholders named Giles. Written records trace the human beings they enslaved to Africa, oftentimes referring to them as Coromantese if they was from modern-day Ghana, Mandingos if they were from the Sahel, Igbos if they were from modern-day Nigeria. But clearly, the name Giles was passed down from someone who enslaved Africans. Now, if modern science places human beings at 300,000 years old and the oldest archaeological evidence of Homo sapiens is in Africa, Morocco, South Africa, Ethiopia, then I'll struggle to understand how 500 years here erases 299,500 years in Africa.
First of all, how you know he was there for that long? And second of all, wouldn't that also make Giles African, the slaveholder? If we're going to do the out of Africa theory, 200,000 years of Homo sapiens sapien. And you got to be a retarded motherfucker if you think humans had to wait until 500 years ago to leave the continent. If modern Homo sapiens, with our brain power that we have now, because that's what Homo sapiens sapien means, modern brain power now, you think it took them 299,000 years to learn how to leave Africa? You think it took a white man? I always laugh at these people who think all black people in America came from Africa. These are people who automatically in their head think that white is right. Everything white is right. The white people are extra smart, and it took these white folks from Europe to show you guys that have been on this continent for 300,000 years how to cross the ocean. You got to be a self-hating motherfucker to think that. You really do. Really misinformed. A lot of I can say, let me take it back. You're a misinformed person to think that. You're a self-hating person to defend it. A misinformed person thinks that, but when presented with new information, they at least consider it. But to stay there and think that that's the only way you got somewhere, that comes down to high levels of self-group hate. And who are you to tell somebody else where their family comes from? Who are you? Huh? And how do you know his last name Giles came from that particular person? How do you know that? You don't know. These people try to sound smart by being ignorant as hell.
Culturally, you resonate with America. Fine. That's a nationality. You may have European or indigenous blood, but your ancestral origin is overwhelmingly African. Take a DNA test. You tell me what it says.
All you have to do is research DNA tests and the accuracy of DNA tests and what they're missing. Most DNA tests don't even include what went on here in the Americas. And there are markers within DNA that can go for the Americas or Africa. There are certain general markers that that people of the planet share. Australia, America, South America, Africa, North America, indigenous people of Earth share these general markers. And it's those DNA companies that say this marker's from Africa, when the truth is they don't know if that marker's from Africa, North America, South America. The common markers that melanated people around the planet share. Okay?
I can see Killer being like Cherokee, but you finna have a lot of Nigeria in there, my guy. Don't get mad at me because I love Cam. But like, Africa stinks? Come on. I mean, it stinks everywhere, nigga. My dogs will shit in my backyard. Now my backyard stinks.
Yeah.
But that's what they want to call it. I don't give a fuck. See, that's
African is also a nationality. Africa was named by some white folks. Africa's a nationality. Like, dude.
the problem, right?
Yeah, Vic Mensa has a white mother and a Ghanaian father, right?
Niggas will come back with this shit, right? Niggas be like, yo. Niggas will be like, this right here is a fossil that was created in Africa, and we did all the research on it, and it traces back to where the name Phillips was a slave on, whatever last name, and this is why we know we're Middle Eastern. Nigga can't get the story right from last week. You see, this is what I'm trying to tell you, right? This is what I'm trying to tell you, right? He telling you the history of some shit from what, 1,000 years, 2,000 years, however long ago? Mm-hmm. He can't even get the story from the podcast right. Saying that I said African 6, I didn't even say that. Mm-hmm. So therefore, how are we supposed to believe which from that you know was going on 2,000 years ago if you don't know what's going on last week? You don't even know what went on last week. Right. How are we supposed to take your word that you know?
Let's take it a step when it comes to that, a step further. When it comes to human migration around the planet, climate has a lot to do with that. Like, people around the planet have been moving since there's been an effing planet. And we've had ice ages. We've had ages with great water, ages of less water. We've had these, we've had this. You know what I'm saying? Let me look at this. Like, look at this. I'm gonna pull this flat world map. I'm gonna pull up this flat world map right here. Oh no, that's not it. If you're going to talk about the history, and we're going to get to Godfrey and all that sorry shit in about 5 minutes. We're going to get to that nonsense Godfrey was talking in about 5 minutes, all right? I just want to get to this point, then we'll get to the main topic in about 5 minutes. All right? But I want to show this for the people who, when you run across these Vic Mensa, see, a person like Vic Mensa would never want to have this conversation with me. It would be embarrassing. It would be embarrassing. It would be just as, look at this. So when they talk about we all come from Africa, whatever, okay, fine. What about the different ice ages that we've had? Y'all notice when you look off the coast of North America right here, you see this light shelf? Well, during the most recent ice age that ended about 10,000 years ago, This was the coastline. Florida was far inland. Miami was not a beach. Miami was further inland. And the beach was about another 100 miles out from Miami, from Tampa. There was a time that civilizations existed all along this coastline right here. And at the same time civilizations existed along this coastline during the last ice age when there was less water in the oceans, over here in the Sahara in Africa, this was a tropical environment. There was a massive lake here in the Sahara Desert. There were rivers here in the Sahara Desert. There are civilizations under that sand that no longer exist. Same thing in Japan. There are pyramids underwater in Japan. Like, we don't, this whole thing of where we come from and Earth history, a lot of Earth history is shaped by climate. And people moved all across this planet at all times. People been circumnavigating the globe for hundreds of thousands of years. Look over here where Australia is. You see like Australia and Bora Bora, that used to all be one landmass. That strait between Australia and Bora Bora, underneath that water lies a former civilization. California used to be under an ice sheet. Arizona, the reason why Arizona has mesas is because when the damn ice age ended and receded, it ripped off the tops of those mountains and created those mesas. There were civilizations that lived there in Arizona before the ice age that had to leave Arizona because of the ice age and move to other parts of the planet. The planet has always been in flux. The planet was not sitting, everyone wasn't just sitting in one landmass, and then the white folks came in 1492 and brought all of these Africans to America, and the white man is the reason why all of these Africans are in Brazil. People been moving back and forth since day fucking one. I want y'all to look up Bimini Road. Downtown Atlantis. Found out about Bimini Road listening to George Clinton. This is off the coast of the Bahamas. You can go snorkel off the coast of the Bahamas right now, and you'll see these massive ports that are down there. These were bays and shipping ports, and they were ports and docks that fit ships larger than the ships we see now. And it's estimated the last time Bimini Road was above land was about 30,000 years ago. 30 or 40,000 years ago, this was a massive seaport. You look at in Japan, you got underwater pyramids in Japan. No, they did not go down and build these pyramids underwater. This area used to be above water. Our Earth history is tricky. And if you don't study climate history, you don't have a real sense of Earth history. And when you study climate history, you learn one thing very fast. Humans have been moving across this planet since day one. Australia, Bora Bora, Vietnam, Japan, Europe. And then ice ages will come and it freezes people out of certain parts of the planet. And when those ice ages come, those people move to warmer climates like the Sahara Desert. Well, it was now the Sahara Desert. There was a time that this was all irrigated with rivers and lakes, and people traveled Africa. People traveled Africa across that Sahara Desert by river. And there are satellite images now showing that there are rivers all under this sand. People used to live here. And when people lived here, people didn't live up here because it was too fucking cold. And then when this warmed up, they moved up there. There were times people lived, all this right here. All this used to be landmass where it says Florida, where the Keys are. All of that was continuous landmass above water. So there are civilizations down there that have been washed away throughout time. And when the next few hundred years, Miami's going to get washed away underwater. New Orleans is going to get washed away underwater within the next couple hundred years. And so will New York City. As great as New York City is, as much fun as I had in New York City last week, in a couple hundred years, this is going to be inhabitable land. In a few thousand years, people will never know New York existed. In about 1,000 years, people will never even know, couple thousand years, whenever these waters get high enough, in a couple thousand years, New York will never have existed to living people. There's going to be something totally new. And when the people who are on this landmass are going to move to another landmass. So when you get these Vic Menses talking all that bullshit, we all come there, they're fucking stupid. Okay? Climates change. People move. All right? I hear people saying California as well. No, not California as well, because California isn't flat. You go to Manhattan, California, in a few tens of thousands of years, California is going to be underground. But don't just because I mentioned New York say, well, California too. No, everything isn't a two. Just stay focused. Look at the topography of New York. It's flat. You come to California, it's a damn mountain range as soon as you get to here. These are mountains right here. Carmel by the Sea, Big Sur. In a few thousand years, tens of thousands of years, California may go back underwater. But in California, you got mountain ranges. So there are going to be parts of California that go underwater, but then a lot of California is still going to be above water. Now, what will happen is, because of the San Andreas Fault, Los Angeles and San Francisco are going to be neighbors in about 100,000 years due to the San Andreas Fault. But no, it'll still be above ground. California is a big ass mountain, okay? New York and Florida are flat. So this isn't a just because I mentioned New York, California too thing. Focus, 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 focus. New York City is not hilly. I ain't talking about upstate New York. I wish you niggas just shut up and learn. God damn. I ain't talking about upstate New York. I'm talking about New York City. God damn it. I was just there. It's flat. Long Beach is already going underwater. This shit's flat. A hill and a mountain are two different things, people. Having a hill in New York is far different than having a mountain in Big Sur. I vacation over here all the time, people. I'm always out here. Okay? You come up to Ragged Point. I love this hotel too. I've stayed here before. You got the water on one side, a big ass mountain on the other side that goes up 3,000 feet. That's different than a hill. Jesus. I wish niggas, just because I mentioned New York, California too. No, not California too. California has mountains. Jesus. Anyway, this is my wine country back here. I'm always back up in here. Mountains everywhere you go. Mountains. So let's get to the main topic. Wyclef and Godfrey. Wyclef and Godfrey. This isn't Wyclef. Wyclef, I think personally, Wyclef should be mad at Godfrey. If Wyclef faces any FBA backlash, as he should, not with evilness, but just correcting some things, the person Wyclef needs to get mad at is Godfrey. Godfrey knows how this thing goes. He knows if he brings us up, it's going to be some for real consequences. Let me tell you what they're doing right now, y'all. What they're doing right now is they're trying to normalize. They see us fighting back. They're trying to just keep talking. And they want to beat us down. They're trying to beat us down and get us to shut up. This whole delineation, if we ever shut up, that will make it to where, okay, it's over. But as long as we push back, it ain't over. It doesn't matter what the powers that used to be want. As long as we stay vocal, it doesn't matter what the power structure wants. We have to stay vocal. As long as we stay vocal, the power structure does not get what it wants. T-Wall said people don't understand geography. Right. I'm reading the chat. I don't even know who said it. People were like, well, California too. Like, what are you talking about? There's mountains right off the damn coast. Dude. This dude said Manhattan is not flat. I was in, yeah. Chat room, does somebody want to tell this dude that a 200-foot hill and a 3,000-foot mountain are two different things? Chat room, can somebody help me tell this dude in the chat that a hill that goes up 200 feet in the middle of an island is not the same as a mountain that goes up 3,000 feet just a quarter mile off the coast? Y'all handle that, chat room. I got to get to the next topic. Y'all handle that, chat room. Y'all handle that. It's topography. For the people saying that, I'm going to say this one last thing and I'll move on. Look up the word topography. Study topography. Topography. Learn the difference between a 200-foot hill on an island and a 3,000 high foot mountain that's just a quarter mile off the coast. And ask yourself, what's going to flood faster? The 200-foot island or the 3,000-foot mountain? Woosah. 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 That's why it'd be hard to teach, man. Somebody said, I think they said, no, Eddie A. King. No, they said something stupid. Don't follow. Just because somebody says something stupid and it sounds okay, you ain't got to follow along, brother. You can't compare a 200-foot tall hill on an island to a 3,000-foot tall coastline. The whole fucking coastline, there's a 3,000-foot mountain along the ridge of it. No. When the ice caps melt, those mountains are going to be fine, okay? Jesus. Such a simple concept. Such a simple concept. You're right, C. Diggs, move on. I get frustrated. Sometimes it's frustrating. I'm sorry, C. Diggs, you're right, though. Let's go here. Oh my God. Hold on. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. This is Wyclef Jean talking about to Godfrey podcast. and they start bringing up Black Americans. They bring up Black Americans all throughout this, and they bring up our music without giving credit to our music. And then they say this one misnomer about Chicago being founded by Haitians or whatever. Now, what I want you to do is listen to what he has to say. Then we're going to first attack this Chicago Haiti conversation, all right?
Wow, I just called myself Wyclef Jean. You know what I mean? I was like, why even get mad? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Too? I'd be like, because I was like, it's Wyclef Jean. It's like, man, it's Wyclef Jean, man.
And you know what's
from North Carolina, baby? It's Wyclef Jean.
And when you look at the spelling, you think Jean in your head. You're like, gee, but I know Jean. I've heard you say it.
Yeah.
It's just Wyclef Jean.
I wonder if Jean-Claude Van Damme had the same issues. You know what I mean? Or did they just call him Jean because he's, you know, I don't know.
They call him Jean-Claude because he looks like Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I look like Wyclef Jean.
and I grew up. My babysitters were Haitian. I grew up around Haitians my whole life.
Yeah.
So, you know, and they were very like, you know, we're in the same building in Chicago, but you're like, the food we're eating is sort of similar. Certain things are like, it's kind of similar, but they're speaking French because all my friends are Reginald, Patrick, Pierre Patrick, Reginald, then there's Jacques Jean, you know,
And then you Chicago has a strong tie with Haiti.
Damn
right. So you have Jean-Baptiste
Dussable, who discovered Chicago. The Haitian man. Dussable Museum. We have the Dussable Museum. All of that. I've been to that. Yeah.
You know, I want to get into the Haitian history because there's a.
So they talk about Dussable discovering Chicago. No, it's not that he discovered Chicago. What Dussable did was, he was somebody that was born, and he was a mixed heritage, and he worked on the ship and he learned languages while he was working on the ship, they say. But how did Dussable know the local languages in Chicago near Keokuk? Well, let me tell you, Dussable also, what he did was he married into the tribe that was already there. And the tribe that was already there, the woman that Dussable married was from the Potawatomi tribe. Potawatomi. This is a lesson for you Africans that are on this podcast. I have Potawatomi in me. My fourth great grandmother is Potawatomi. You know how Potawatomi my family is? There's a museum in Indiana that my family's photo picture is in as native Potawatomi. A picture taken in 1890. And it's my family. And guess what their skin tone looks like? It's darker than mine. My own family is in the museum for indigenous Potawatomi. Potawatomi looks like me. Dussable married a Potawatomi woman. Do y'all know that John Brown, you know the white man John Brown who killed those folks, whose two sons, had that raid on Harper's Ferry in 1859 and he was lynched, what kicked off the Civil War? We know about John Brown and Harper's Ferry, but a lesser known story was John Brown killed 5 white men that killed Potawatomis in Oklahoma, because during the Indian Removal Act, we only hear about the Removal Act from Georgia and Alabama to Oklahoma. But do y'all know that they also removed Indians from Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin to Oklahoma? Do y'all know that? And the Potawatomi have a settlement in Oklahoma. And when these white boys killed these Potawatomis, it was the black woman named Mary Ellen Pleasant. She funded John Brown's escapades when he would kill other white people for how they were treating black people. Well, before John Brown's raid on Harper's Ferry in 1859, he killed white men in Oklahoma who killed Potawatomi. I'm Potawatomi. And I got names, multiple generations of them, and pictures. So before you go talking all this shit about, yeah, Chicago Haitian culture. No, he married into Potawatomi. And he understood the languages of the people who were already there. And he set up good trade. And Disabled did a great thing. But before you go around talking about some damn, he brought Haitian cultures. No, women pass down culture. Men provide resources and rules and structure. Women provide the culture. His wife was Potawatomi. Education. You Nigerians need education. You need an education. You are not educated. You need an education. Your education is not in deeds. No. Your education is not in deeds. No. And if I look around, if I go to my mom's house, I actually got the picture, but it's at my mom's house of my family's picture that's in the museum. I might have it in my phone, but I didn't think I was going to talk about this today. All you got to do is look up who John Disabled married, and you'll see she's a Potawatomi. So let's get that bit of history out the way before we go further. Y'all ready to go further? Let's go. Now they're about to talk about the whole Haiti. The United States wouldn't exist the way it is without Haiti. Let's talk about this point.
You know, you think about that. United States would not be
Let me go back a little
as
further.
big as it is.
Right? So like no matter what you do to me, like a Wycleff is gonna rise.
Yeah.
A Jason Derulo's gonna come. You know what I'm saying too? Like do whatever you want. There's still gonna be a Kodak Black. You know, do whatever you want. You know what I mean? Haiti will get to where it needs to get to in the future.
Yeah, I want to give Haiti, you know, its props because, you know, you think about that. United States would not be as big as it is today had it not be because of the Haitian Revolution. Like it wouldn't have happened. It would have been a smaller East Coast territory, and that would have never happened. You know, so it makes me think like, why wouldn't the U.S., especially when you start getting into it, and you start thinking about a lot of the meddling that the U.S. has had within Haiti, like why wouldn't America show appreciation to Haiti? Because there was the embargo during the Kennedy era. There was all these things that has happened that's just been imposed and punished Haiti. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think we in America have a lot of work to do, right? We have a lot of
He said a
places
lot of
that
word
we have
salad right there. He said a
lot of
lot of
things we gotta
word salad right there. Ooh, I turned my air conditioner on. If the United States don't appreciate the people like Benjamin Banneker that created the Farmer's Almanac so that the United States can continue to eat, why don't they appreciate Haiti? Akbar? And yes, the Haitian Revolution was one of the things that forced France to sell. But also at the same time, I remember it was one of the things. Napoleon was stretching his army far too thin across the world. And Napoleon made a strategic decision to not go all the way in on Haiti so that he could maintain other fronts around the world. That's what Napoleon did. And he sent a fucking idiot. He had Rochambeau do that bullshit. Like, the United States don't even thank France. The United States wouldn't even be an independent country if it weren't for France. Rochambeau is who did the majority of the winning during the American Revolution, not George Washington. George Washington had a ragtag group of patriot thugs. It was Rochambeau from France that came to America, and he's the one that was responsible for keeping the British and the Hessian soldiers and getting them out of America. Rochambeau. And that was the same Rochambeau that made the mistake in Haiti of cutting off all those men's heads that kicked off the Haitian Revolution in 1793. But it was Rochambeau in 1783 that helped America get its independence from France. And America don't thank France. France had other interests going on. And this, we got to remember, this war on America was a European war on America. It was the Dutch, it was the Spanish, it was the French, it was the Hessians, it was the German, it was all of them having war on the Americas. The Spanish came up the West Coast in the 1500s. The French came down the middle. The Dutch came down from the East Coast, and the British came from the East Coast, and the Spanish came from the Florida side. So this whole thing about America moving west, America bought the Louisiana. It's called the Louisiana Purchase. Okay, and the Haitian Revolution had a part in it. But let's be very clear. They always say, okay, Haiti showed the world how to be free. You got to understand, America has never enslaved all of Black America. Yes, was Haiti the first country to rid the European off their back? Technically, yes, technically. But did they really? If they have to pay reparations to France, and they're still paying reparations to France, and they're being economically constricted, are they free? See, Black America didn't get the notion from Haiti to free themselves. Black Americans that were enslaved started freeing themselves 350 years ago in 1676 in Bacon's Rebellion. In 1726 with the Stono Rebellion. You had multiple rebellions within the United States of America. They did not get inspired by it. They've been doing rebellions all throughout the colonies. From 17, actually before 1676. But 1676 was so bad, that's when they decided to bring in color-coded racism. America, the people in the United States of America have never been subjugated without a fight. The Denmark Vesey Revolt, 1822. You can go down the line of the revolts that we had here in America, while at the same time knowing that there were always free Black Americans at the same time. Yeah, y'all like talking about that. They never got all of us. Never. They never got all of us. They still ain't got all of us. So we got to make sure that we correct that history. When they say Haiti showed the world how to be free. No. Black America was never all the way enslaved. There was always free Black people. I got it. I got my book right here. My family showing our freedom papers going back to 1640 in this book right here, and that's just my family. Okay, and it was these free Black people, the descendants of these free Black people that moved from Virginia to Indiana. They're the ones. One of the descendants are the ones that married into the Potawatomi tribe. And before they went there, they were in the ones that were in Virginia were also mixed with Powhatan. These Black people here were Black American. They were Negroes, considered Negroes, but they were marrying Powhatan. The Powhatan Indians are in North Carolina, Virginia. Don't get the two confused. There's Powhatan on the East Coast, and there's Potawatomi in the upper Midwest that used to be on the East Coast in Buffalo, New York, in Pennsylvania. But when the white man came in the 1600s, those Potawatomi moved to Michigan, Indiana, Illinois. And I got family that married both Powhatan and Potawatomi. So, Mr. Godfrey, we got documented evidence that's scholarly reviewed. Make sure y'all hit the donation for the foundation, the Black American Music Family Tree Historical Foundation. Y'all like what I do? Donate to my foundation so I can keep the research going. All right? So now let's go up. This is where Godfrey starts to talk about Black Americans, aka Foundation of Black Americans. He knows. See, this is where it comes down to it. This is where Godfrey's sneakiness comes in. He knows damn well what the FBA thing is. He's articulated it in the past, what FBA is. Now he's about to misrepresent what the definition is, and this is where he does Wyclef wrong. He pulls Wyclef into a fight that Wyclef, I'm sure when he sat down, wasn't ready for, and then he gives Wyclef a bad definition. That is sneaky, slimy behavior. And I see why so many men have fallen out with Godfrey. Because men don't, it's just certain people do certain things that are sneaky. To everybody watching, you be like, man, why are you tripping? They didn't really do nothing. But when you know somebody and you know they did something, you all know, chat room. We all know our people, our friends and people that we know. They may do something on the surface that seem cool to people who don't know the dynamic. But you know that person and you know that they knew better. And they do little sneaky shit. Now I see what Lord Jamar meant. Now I see what Corey Holcomb meant. I didn't totally understand what Lord Jamar and Corey meant when they were going through it. Although I did respect their point of view. I just figured, okay, he must have done something. I didn't see it, but it was sneaky as hell. Watch this sneaky ass way he defines what FBA is and totally misleads Wyclef.
But money don't come before the people. It's just the way that it is.
Oh, my bad. I muted the wrong.
Yeah, man, that's deep. Your musical talent.
Thanks. It's a fact. My super billionaire friends, they always like make jokes of me. They be like, Clef don't like money. He a hippie. You know, I do like money. I love money, but money don't come before the people. It's just the way that it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it got to be about the people first. You heard?
Yeah, man, that's deep.
That's my philosophy.
Your musical talent. Where did that come from? When did you know you had this musical talent?
Straight from the church, man.
Straight from the church.
Straight from.
How was your dad with that? Like, you know, because I think about the movie Sinners.
What type of church?
You know what I mean?
What type of church?
Nazarene church, gospel church.
Okay.
It was straight up Pentecostal vibes. They spoke in tongues.
So he went to Black American church because he said Pentecostal. Do you guys know that Pentecostal church started right here in LA? Do y'all know that? Do y'all know that? Let me put it up. The Azusa Street Revival. That's why he has the talent that he has. Wyclef. Let me show y'all right here. This is now Little Japan. The Japanese have taken over this area. But right here in Azusa Street, Mission, 1906, the worldwide Pentecostal movement was created by Black Americans at Azusa Street, which is now like Little Japan, somewhere over there. The Azusa Street Revival. That's where the Pentecostal church. So make it very clear, because I want to talk about Africa this, Africa that. That church was born right here. This was a black area at the time. And then the Japanese came in. And then when World War II happened, when Japanese people went into internment camps in the 1940s, do y'all know that Black Americans came right back into Little Tokyo? And we make this business district thrive throughout the 1940s. And then in the 50s, when the Japanese were released from internment camps, see, the white people that came in here, they took all those Japanese businesses, all those Japanese homes. The black people kept this land. This is a thriving black district. And then when the Japanese came back, the black people gave the Japanese back their businesses. The black people gave the Japanese back their homes. The black people occupied it, took care of shit. And when the Japanese came back, Black Los Angeles gave the Japanese their shit back. You can find these stories in the LA Times archives of these people that came home from the internment camps, and they talk about the white people stealing all that stuff, but the black people coming in here and preserving it and giving it back to them when they got out of internment camp. Another piece of history that they don't tell y'all. Because that's how we are as a people. And we created the Pentecostal movement right here in Azusa Street in 1906. A completely FBA movement that Wyclef is talking about. I wanted to make sure I throw that historical fact in there. Now let's listen to Godfrey and what he has to say.
They throw you in the pulpit at 9 years old.
Yeah.
You got to be doing the James Brown. You got to be moving.
Yeah, you got to feel the spirit.
Listen, even if the spirit ain't on you, got to act like it's on you.
Hey, my mom will give me that look.
There's a lot of
You understand? Like the minute they look at you, you better start going.
Jesus Christ, where you at? 1, 2, 3, 4. I also want to ask this. I want to ask this because me and him get bombed with this foundational Black Americans.
Oh boy,
deservedly so.
We get bombed
like big time.
We were born in America. We're Nigerian American. We were born here.
First gen.
Our friends, a lot of our friends are Black Americans.
Yeah, grew up in Black communities.
Yeah. We grew up, and it's this whole thing of you guys are tethered. This tether.
I don't even know what that means.
Tether means something attached.
Exactly
tether's like you attached to something. So I guess
tether is already. Remember with Akbar, they had that doctor on. They've already explained what tether means on this show. They actually did it accurately one time, so Akbar already knows what that means. It's him being disingenuous. But listen to how Godfrey tries to basically say that we call all immigrants tethers. Listen to this sneaky shit.
Acting like we're them, but we're not really them, and we don't really belong with them. It's a lot of divisive.
Yeah.
Like you coming from Haiti.
Y'all heard that? Y'all heard his definition of tether, right? He did not make the distinction saying that all immigrants aren't tethers. He didn't make the distinction of saying that we are okay with people participating in our culture. He didn't say that. He didn't make the distinction saying that no, tethers are people who participate within the culture and then do things to undermine the culture. He left a huge part of what the tether is out. Probably the most important part of the definition of tether is what is an action and what the tether does. He left all that out. Let me repeat that one more time.
Tether means something attached. The tether's like you attached to something. So I guess we're acting like we're them, but we're not really them, and we don't really belong with them. It's a lot of divisive.
Yeah.
Like you coming from Haiti, being in Brooklyn, going through what you've gone through. How do you feel about that? I don't know if anyone's ever talked to you about that. Have you heard anything about this foundational Black thing? Because they feel like, if you're part immigrant, you're not foundational. We recognize we're not foundational Black, but they say you shouldn't speak for us. What? I'm speaking just for Black folks because we're all going through the same.
No, you shouldn't speak for us. And look at Godfrey's body language. It's very protected. That's why his elbows are raised, protecting himself. No, and that's standard around the world. I can't speak for Nigerians, even though we're all technically Black. I can't speak for Haitians. I don't know what it's like for people to come and invade my country and kill the rice fields and take over I don't know what that's like. I can't speak for Haitians. I can't speak for Belizeans. Here in LA, you'd be hard pressed to look at somebody and tell phenotypically the difference between someone from LA and someone from Belize. Like on the East Coast, y'all got all them Africans and Dominicans and all them niggas is short as hell. Y'all can tell. In LA, the Belizeans be looking and dressing and talking just like we. You don't know somebody Belizean until you go to their mama house. Even though we look phenotypically alike, I still cannot speak for a Belizean. I can't speak for a Chinese person. A Chinese person can't speak for a Japanese person. A Japanese person can't speak for a Korean. A South Korean can't speak for a North Korean. A nigger from Texas can't speak for a nigger from LA. You dig? You got to speak your lane. This is across the board. A Greek can't speak for an Italian. even though they're all white. An Irish can't speak for a British. A German can't speak for a Russian. A Ukrainian can't speak for somebody that's Turkish. Somebody from Uzbekistan can't speak for somebody from Pakistan. Somebody from North India can't speak to a Dravidian from South India. This is across the board. Somebody from UCLA can't speak for somebody's experience at the University of Chicago. Somebody that went to Harvard can't speak to somebody that went to Brown, even though they're both Ivy League universities. The experience at Harvard is going to be different than the experience at Brown University, and they're both in the Ivy League. So Godfrey is taking a general concept. This is where you see Godfrey doesn't respect Black Americans. This is where the lack of respect comes in. And this is why my tone is changing. Right now, it's just flat out disrespect. You cannot. A Nigerian born in America can't speak for a Nigerian born in Nigeria. Same way a Nigerian born in Nigeria can't speak for a Nigerian born in America. The same way a Nigerian born in America can't speak for a Nigerian born in the UK. The same way a Nigerian born in the UK can't speak for a Nigerian in South Africa. You motherfuckers is all off the planet, all across the planet, everywhere except for rebuilding home. Shut the fuck up and stop trying to speak for everybody where you at and speak to building your goddamn house. How you gonna speak for me in my house when your house ain't got couches in the living room? You got a house with no furniture, no plumbing, roof leaking. You got shit on the carpet. No, speak for your house.
I grew up in Chicago. Police harassment.
Yeah.
You know, same old call the
We had
N-word.
the same experience.
Same
but
experience.
Because our roots are, we're first gens.
Yeah.
So because of our roots, then somehow we're excluded from
We're
the
excluded.
experience.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
you
I did-
are. Yes, you are, because our experience don't come down to how we're treated by the police. 99.999999999% of my existence in Los Angeles, California, has never been in contact with the police. And I've gotten pulled over by the police at least 100 times. Most of the time I was pulled over for 10 minutes and on. A couple times I was pulled over and had to sit on the police hood for 45 minutes. But what's 45 minutes in a 24-hour day? What's that 5-minute pullover in a 24-hour day? Not minimizing it. I'm just saying 99.9999999% of my existence exists without talking to the police, without interacting with the police. So you cannot say when the police come in the room, we're going to have the same experience. Yes, we probably will have the same experience when the police come in. But then when that experience is over with, the other 99.99999% of my existence is going to be based in my cultural, in my culture. Let's keep going.
I don't know.
Well, I think that, again, I hear everything.
Yeah.
I see everything. I play for everybody. I'm around everybody.
Yeah.
And the conversations that I have is because I feel like the internet is louder than the one-on-one conversation.
No doubt.
Right?
No doubt. Yeah.
My one-on-ones are very healthy. Yeah. And it's a phrase that says, l'union fait la force, which means unity is strength, right? So at the end of the day, it's very clear that the reason why you look at history, right? Because what happens is if you want to debate, then we just got to go with the facts of how history is. And the biggest part of history is this, like, why did they keep me away from you? That's all I want you to know. So if you're in America and I'm in Haiti, why did they keep me away from you, right? Because at some...
Let's answer that. Ain't nothing kept us away from each other like that. We don't want to go to Haiti. America. We have think about this, black people. We have a USA passport. We can go anywhere. Slavery ended over 150 years ago. And even during the time of slavery, free black people could travel anywhere across the planet they wanted to. They didn't keep us from you. We didn't want to go. We're very ethnocentric. We like it here. In spite of what goes on in this country, we like it here. We understand that there's nowhere to run. They didn't keep us from you. We didn't want to go. Go for what? We'd rather live in New York. We'd rather live in Charlotte. We'd rather live in Tupelo, Mississippi. We'd rather live in Birmingham, Alabama. We'd rather live in Overton, Texas. We'd rather live in Dallas than Port-au-Prince. But again, I'm not mad at Wyclef because Wyclef kind of got thrown into this. So what Wyclef is doing is he's giving like a general sauce answer, just like kind of like a general answer. But he was pulled into this question, and I don't think he was ready.
L'union fait la force. Unity is strength. Divide is the only way that they could conquer, right? So at the end of the day, when rhetoric gets so loud, right, it's hard for people to look at what the truth is, right? So at the truth, if you love Frederick Douglass, and Frederick Douglass was Black American, right? If you love Frederick Douglass, you should read what he says about immigrants. Read what he says about Haitians, right?
Two different things. What did Frederick Douglass say about Haitians? About immigrants. Frederick Douglass said that immigration does not benefit Black America. So what he's telling Godfrey to do, Godfrey, you should. Godfrey, go read Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass talked about the cost of immigrations on Black Americans. And yeah, he said what he said about the 4th of July, about the quagmire we're in within this country. But at the same time, he said, we are Black Americans. This is our country, and immigration hurts us. That's what Frederick Douglass said. Now, here he says something about the music. And I'm not mad at Wyclef, but I want y'all to listen to something he said about the music, and I want to give a slight correction to what he says, all right? He's talking about the music coming together, like with the Fugees and everything. Let's talk about this.
Right, so, and I could keep going on and on and on just to say at the end of the day, you see, when we was doing the Fugees,
somebody
right?
said the ones acting like COINTELPRO never existed. Who said I'm acting? Acting? You stupid fuck. I talk about COINTELPRO. This is the book that exposed it, nigga. COINTELPRO was the 70s, and I'm talking about the 1800s. Get a timeline, you dumb fuck, before you say dumb shit in my comments. Talking about some, I don't know, acting like COINTELPRO don't exist, and I got the goddamn book right here on COINTELPRO that I talk about on this channel, nigga. Shut up and listen. I swear to God. Yeah, COINTELPRO exists. I'm not saying it don't, but I'm also saying before COINTELPRO came into existence, Black Americans still chose to stay here, nigga. Shut up and listen. Now let's keep going.
They say like the power of the Fugees this is what happens when a Black American gets with the diaspora and they put their arms together and they learn from each other, right? So when Lauren is sitting there and she's like, yo, this is the Four Tops. You know, this is Marvin Gaye. You know, I'm like, who? She's like, yo, that's Marvin Gaye. He's a soul singer. This is Aretha Franklin. I say, yo, that's dope. And I'd be like, yo, check this out. This Fela Kuti. Yo, check this out. This band called Tabu Combo. Tabu what? Tabu Combo. They out of Haiti. Yo, this Celia Cruz, she from Cuba. When you put the forces together, this becomes the most powerfulest thing on the planet. And then so I always...
Not necessarily true. Not necessarily true. Let me explain. The most powerful music in America, in the world, comes when Black Americans do it purely, when it's just us. Now, when other people's music fuses with our music, it becomes their most powerful music. We love Celia Cruz, and Celia Cruz loved Black America. She talks so glowingly about Harlem. Celia Cruz always talks about Harlem as the only place in the world that she can feel free. Celia Cruz loved Black America. Celia Cruz loved Black America because she was treated like shit in Cuba and never given the love, respect, and attention she deserved. And when Celia Cruz came to Harlem and combined the native Cuban sound with Black American jazz, it became Cuba's most powerful music. But as great as Celia Cruz is, she's never been Bessie Smith. She's never been Ella Fitzgerald. She's never been Lady Day. She's never been Whitney Houston. She's never been Mahalia Jackson. She's never been anywhere near Whitney Houston or Aretha Franklin. Now, when she fused with us, she became the most powerful force in Cuba. But in America, she was never Aretha Franklin. And this is no disrespect to other groups. But what we got to correct, because on these diaspora shows, it's all about minimizing Black America. James Brown was the most powerful force on the planet in 1969. Who was James Brown from the diaspora teamed with? Name one person from the diaspora, Caribbean, Africa, or anywhere that was in James Brown's band. Name one Caribbean or African rhythm that James Brown used. The most powerful music comes from, let me tell you where the most powerful music comes from. It comes from the fusion of the South, the Midwest, the Upper Northeast, and the West. When you get the different regions of Black America to fuse and bring our different flavors, that's where the most powerful music comes from. Funk happened when James Brown came from the South, got from South Carolina, got horn players from Mississippi and recorded in Ohio. We get funk out of that. A new genre that changed the world. Rhythm and blues. That's born right here in Los Angeles. When musicians born in LA, born in Louisiana, born in Texas, born in New York, all come together in LA and create this new sound that puts the music on the 2/4 backbeat. The best music is when Black Americans from different regions of Black America come together. Michael Jackson, when he comes from Gary, Indiana, moves to LA, teams with producer like James Carmichael from Gaston, Alabama, drummers like James Gaston, you team with them. That's where the best music comes from. And out of that, you get Celia Cruz. Out of that, you get reggae. Once Black Americans create something in-house, other cultures hear it. And then when their best of their best interpret what we're doing, that becomes the best sound in that region. And I can prove it to you. Let's see my website. Got my website. I'm still updating my website. Well, if y'all go to incenseandashtrays.com, y'all like the new layout on incenseandashtrays.com? Does my website not look like the dopest shit ever? And this is me redoing it. This is me, nigga. This is my redesign. What I need y'all to do is subscribe to my Substack and my Patreon. Patreon, we have hundreds of hours of lessons on this on Patreon. If you join my Patreon, understand my Patreon is an archive. I upload regularly. Not regularly. This Saturday, we're going to do readings this Saturday, and Music University is coming back this coming Sunday. But Also, my Substack and on incenseandashtrays.com, I break all this down. And this is a 32-minute read. And I talk about rock, pop, and hip hop, how rhythm and blues changed the world. This is how rhythm and blues changed the world and the world of music. And in this article, I break down the parent genres for all the world pop music and how these genres were born in complete isolation and complete segregation within the United States of America. And once we perfected these sounds within segregation within the United States of America, when these sounds went across the world and went to Jamaica, it became reggae. When it went to Europe, it became UK skiffle, world beat. When it went to Brazil, it became bossa nova. When it went, and in this article right here, I really break it all the way down. I break it down from the rhythms to the names to the years. And when I make points, when I make my point about Black American music being the root, I even in this article have, you can click on the link and go right to the interview that I got my point of view from.
Imitating the rhythm and blues.
This Derek Morgan, UK, from Jamaica, reggae legend, said we started imitating rhythm and blues. Say it again, Derek Morgan.
We start imitating the rhythm and blues songs like say Smiley Lewis or Professor Longyear or Louis Jordan, and those kind of beat. We tried to imitate it. It didn't turn out that way, so we decided to keep this as our own type. That's how that can come in.
That's how ska comes in, when they imitate the Black American rhythm. Now ska, reggae, y'all like it, but most niggas is gonna listen to, if we listen to reggae, we got about 10 minutes of reggae, maybe 15 minutes. The minute that blunt gets halfway smoking, it's time to turn on some Smokey Robinson. That is how we are. This is me correcting the story. No disrespect to Wyclef. Sounds good. Sounds like a We Are the World message. But since everybody wants to go around and say what Black Americans need to do, it's high time that we correct the records on what we have done and continue to do. What up, DJ G Kenny? Salute to you, my brother. So let's keep going. Let me see. Listen to this. Okay, let's keep going.
Is tell people like, disagreement will always happen, but always remember that the strength is always gonna be in the unity.
Yeah.
So so sometimes I leave the argument and I go preach to the kids.
Yeah.
Because
you're going like I can't waste my time with this. This is the upcoming. This
they're gonna, everyone like we're gonna leave Earth real soon.
Yeah.
So they the next ones in line. So if I can't get you, I'm gonna get them. Spread the word.
That is so dope because it does get a little exhausting because, I liken it to this, and I've said this too, especially the way we've been spread throughout the diaspora. When colonizers came into Africa and they enslaved the Africans and, took them over and enslaved the Africans and spread them throughout, Jim Crow, you have Jim Crow in the United States and slavery, and you have, everything that happened in the Caribbean and in Brazil and in Africa, and they torched one house and torched the other and did all this other stuff, and they literally split families apart. And then for generations and generations keeps everybody apart. And then the idea to me, which is so hard, but I get what you're saying, division, is that when the generational starts to come together, there's some of the same people that you're saying, you're not a real one, you're not, foundationally Black Americans, could be the very person that is your fourth, fifth, or sixth cousin, and you're saying that we're not together, you know what I mean? And that to me is the power of division.
Bullshit, Akbar. Bullshit. Chat room. For those of you on Ancestry that have taken the blood test or 23andMe or whatever, and I know people say don't give them your blood. they already got your shit. Everything that they want, if they want to hack us, they got all your biometrics. So I respect to y'all that are terrified, but they already got you. If you ever had a blood test at work, they got your blood already. So you may as well find out about your fucking family. I ain't giving them my blood. Nigga, they got it. And they been having your blood since you was born. All right? Every one of us is already in every database that they need to get anything they want from us. So you not giving your blood to Ancestry don't give you no extra protection. Somebody want to frame you, they already got your black ass DNA. Stop it. But let's get down to it. So for those who have taken the Ancestry test, have you found a common ancestor in Africa? Chat room. I haven't. And I found hundreds of matches. I have hundreds of matches. Are any of your ancestral matches going? Hold on. Dude said they need my legal permission. You think people worth $1 billion need my legal permission? Billionaires don't need your damn legal permission, nigga. I appreciate you because you know your patronage to this channel, but billionaires don't need our permission. They break the law all the time, and nobody's going to do anything about it. But let's get back to the topic. Have you found a common ancestor? Is there somebody, when they say, okay, you have a common ancestor, they live in Nairobi. You have a common ancestor, they live in Lagos. You have common ancestors that live in Ghana. You have common ancestors that live in the Ivory Coast. Has that happened? Huh? That's a good question. And while you talking about all this shit, how far back can you trace your own family in Nigeria? This is Decepticon work, y'all. This is Decepticon work.
You're saying that the only way to erase that is with unity, because when you bring all of that together and the different experiences.
We've been trying unity since forever. Okay, well, let me tell you something. I'm all the way down with unity. Okay. Where is the investment with all of the education? Where is the investment from the diaspora in Black America? And I don't mean buying a magazine and Essence Fest and turning it into African Fest. That ain't what I'm talking about. I mean, where are all these wealthy Africans, where do they donate locally? I don't even, just say locally. The local AAU basketball team, the local Black school, homeschool network. Where is the African bank? Because when I go to Monterey Park and Arcadia, there are banks from Japan. And those people in Asia, those Asians, those Japanese people, they get their houses financed through Japanese banks. The Chinese get their houses funded through Chinese banks. Their business is funded through Chinese banks. If there's Pan-Africanism, where is the Nigerian banks in America that can give loans to Black Americans? That's Pan-Africanism. Been practicing Pan-African markets for over 100 years. You mean tell me there ain't nothing got set up in the diaspora that's reciprocal to America? This is a real conversation, y'all, because they'll bring up Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey was over 100 years ago. Where is the reciprocal investment? Do we ever ask that question? Where are there all these rich Africans to invest in the music industry and, fix this broken music system that we have here? Where they at? And Godfrey looking like he want to tickle Akbar's booty. Look at this shit. He looking at this nigga like.
Is because we all know the circumstances. We all know what happened. Yeah. Now we start putting our experiences together to make dope music, to make dope changes.
Yeah. So when me and my Black American friends, right, I have, it's like to them I'm more Black American than I'm Haitian, right? So we have like
shows you how accepting we are. He said to me and my Black American friends, to them I'm more Black American than Haitian. Meaning the Black Americans accept him for who he is.
And again, it's good because my thing is like, why do you feel like that? Yeah. Right? Because I want to know, like, well, why is it you feel like that? Because I remember like being little and being in school and they'd be like, oh, these damn Haitians, they're getting straight A's, right? And like, it's like, well, what do you want us to do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because if we go home and that report card ain't right, they're gonna like take us and hang us upside down. Bro, it's either we get an A or we gonna trace the A into the.
Hell yeah, we make it.
That's what I get from people from across the diaspora. They act like they're the only ones whose parents gave them consequences if their stuff wasn't right. My mom gave me consequences too. Man, me having C's because of my dyslexia and not knowing I had dyslexia, you know how many whoopings I got because my mom thought I wasn't paying attention in class? And I had to deal with a sister who was a straight A student. My sister was a straight A student. And I was struggling. They couldn't find out what was going on. And before my mom realized I was struggling because I had a learning disability, before my mom realized that, you know how many whoopings I took? That's not a Haitian story. That's not a Nigerian story. That's a story. My mom didn't, it took years for my mom to realize, okay, I had a learning disability. Before she realized I had a learning disability, I took many a whoopings. I couldn't go outside and play. That shit was torture. Doing homework until 10 o'clock at night while all your friends are playing tag. That's my experience too. But they make it seem as if, oh, that's just the immigrant experience. We're the only ones that care about grades. While you're attending a school named after George Washington Carver. That'd be some funny shit. You'll get somebody from Nigeria acting as if they the only one, they family the only one that care about grades. And you go to goddamn George Washington Carver High School. The smartest nigga of the 20th century. And he was a Black American. Ain't that some shit? You right about that, Miss 20. Most parents did not play about education. It wasn't just the Nigerians that care about education. Everybody wants education. Hell, I traced, what grade was it? I traced a D into a B before. I did it one time. Because that one time I did it, I got my ass whooped. I traced a D into a B in the 5th grade. That was the first and last time I tried that. In Miss Laham's class, Coliseum Elementary School. I never tried that shit again. Y'all remember them long yellow report cards? Y'all remember them yellow ones? And it had your first 5-week grade, your 10-week grade, your 15-week grade, and 20-week grade. I'm like, how the fuck did my mom? I thought my mom had a special direct line to Jesus. I was like, man, Jesus tell my mama everything. I can't get away with shit. My mama had us in church all the damn time. I swear to God, when I was like 5, when I was like 7, 8, every time I thought about doing something, my mom be right there. And she'd have us in church. I started really believing it. I was like, man, that nigga Jesus be talking directly to my mom. I can't get away with nothing. But let's keep going. I want y'all to see this part. Education.
Gentleman's grave.
Oh my gentleman's grave.
That's a gentleman's grave.
Oh my goodness. You know, I got a question for you because we're just going back into childhood, and I remember, when I was talking about like how my dad was like, "Oh no, just let them know they're all Africans," and I remember people used to go, "I'm not African. I got Indian in my blood. I got Creole. I'm Creole."
Look at how the attitude that he gives. This is why I don't respect Akbar. This is why I don't respect this dude. Look at the attitude he gives when black people say that. Let's say it again. Watch this.
Oh my gentleman's grave.
That's a gentleman's grave.
Oh my goodness. I got a question for you because we're just going back into childhood, and I remember, when I was talking about like how my dad was like, "Oh no, just let them know they're all Africans," and I remember people used to go, "I'm not African. I got Indian in my blood. I got Creole. I'm Creole," and I've always wondered. I wanted to ask you, like, I grew up thinking that Creole was like a race because, like I've even heard people maybe even describe Beyonce's mom as like Creole.
She's a Creole lady.
Creole, is Creole a language or is it a race?
Dumbass don't know the difference between having Indian in your blood and being Creole. And why is he asking a Haitian about a Louisiana Creole? That shows you how this motherfucker is like ding, 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 ding. It's not like, it's not all there. He's asking a Haitian about a Louisiana Creole while mocking black people for saying we have Indian in our blood. See, this is what that right there is the reason why that's disrespect. Right there. Before we even get to Wyclef's answer, mocking black Americans for having Indian in our blood and asking a Haitian about Louisiana Creole. You don't need to know anything else about this guy. He just doesn't respect black Americans. He's around us all the time, so he has to play nice. But he ain't got no respect. Going back to having Indian in my blood. You just early, like, he didn't know who John Disable was. Whatever the fuck his name, John Disable from Chicago, he didn't know who he was. So that lesson I gave earlier over him marrying a Potawatomi, that goes right over his head. I literally have a picture that exists in museums, in a museum, I should say, of my Potawatomi family from 1890, and they're darker than me. And so if I say I have Indian in my blood, he thinks that's just a joke. He thinks that's just a joke. Let me see if I can find it, because those pictures from like, if I look for those pictures now, I would get too distracted. If I look for those pictures now, I would get way too distracted. So I can't look for them now. I'll get too distracted. I'm gonna have to get y'all later on that. Well, I do have old videos. I can't tell you which old video it is, but I do have old videos. And for those of you who've been around for a long time, you've seen past episodes in the past where I broke down and showed pictures of my family from the 1800s, my Indian family from the 1800s. If I do it right now, it's like, it's in my mind, but it's like, shit. I'm scrolling trying to see if I can find it, but I ain't gonna find this. I'm already back in 2023 and I still don't see it. Let me stop. Go back to the old episode. But if you look at somebody like me, I can find Potawatomi names, addresses, birth and death dates, occupations. I can find Powhatans, names and locations. Powhatan family that was from rural Virginia that married a free black from Prince George's County, PG County, in the 1680s. I got verified Cherokee in my family. Mary Louise Smith, East Texas. I got Creek in my family. Out of Alabama. I got Creole in my family. My mom is like, why do you think the palms of my hands are so white? I got all say hands. Look how white and soft my hands are. All that Creole in my blood from Lake Charles, Louisiana. I'm offended that I got Creole out near the Lake Charles area, and he's asking a fucking Haitian about that side of my lineage.
Genuinely don't know.
I always thought it was just light-skinned black folk. That's
essentially
have to be like Cajun, like French, part French and part a lot of mixing.
Creole is like gumbo. It's a mixture.
Yes,
it's a mixture.
Yes, right.
So it's racial.
Yeah, it's both. It's a race and a language. Meaning, like, because you could get someone who's super mixed. They could be like Creole, Louisiana.
Okay.
Right. You also have Cape Verdean Creole.
That's facts.
Oh.
Right. So, which is another.
This dude Akbar is. For them to talk so much about black Americans, they don't know shit. I only got a couple more clips that we're gonna go through because I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired of your shit. You don't ever buy black Americans nothing. Doom, 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 doom.
I be talking for y'all, man.
Oh man.
Always up.
And we appreciate it though.
I gotta cry for y'all.
We need it. You got what I need. Only you.
Let me go back.
Oh my goodness.
And then 7 years ahead, you know,
talking
like
about black American, they're talking about music right here.
my brain.
Yeah.
So it's like, because what I'm doing with all of these albums is like hybrid. Because if you grew up with the past, it just sounds like the past and the present. So like you'll like it, but then my daughter will love it. You know what I'm saying to you? So after that, we got the country, Grown and Sexy.
Grown and Sexy, okay.
The R&B album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You already know what that's gonna be like.
Yeah,
you know, I'm gonna talk that pain. You know my style of singing, you know what I'm saying? I be talking for the fellas like, someone. I be talking for y'all, man.
Oh man.
Always up.
But we appreciate it though.
I gotta cry for y'all.
We need it. You got what I need. Only you.
Oh my goodness.
And then the last album is called Le Mardi Gras. And Le Mardi Gras is pretty interesting because it's gonna be a mixture of like when I did Carnival Part 1.
Okay.
So, but Le Mardi Gras, it's gonna have Afro beats on it.
Okay.
Now, everything that I tell you, it's not just on it because I'm trying to ride the train.
Right.
Do you know about me and Afro beats, my relationship, or no?
No, I don't. I actually don't know.
Now, this is very important. We're about to break it up here.
All right.
Long time ago, before Afrobeat exploded, when I went to Nigeria, I was doing records with Two-Face, Sound Sultan, D'banj. Keep in mind, this is no explosion to have Afrobeat yet.
Right.
So everybody go online, there's a record I did called I'm So Proud to Be African.
Okay.
This is 20-something years ago. This is before the explosion. So, again, everything that you're hearing is not a now. It's like before people's on it, I'm on it, right? So, as we move towards the future, I want to celebrate what happens when you put that Afrobeat against that Coupe Kluge from Haiti. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And mix it with what's going on in Congo, you know, and then throw it back in Cuba. You know, let it go to Mexico, then come back to Brooklyn. So Le Mardi Gras.
I actually saw that. I saw that.
So Le Mardi Gras is like, that's that trip. You know what I'm saying too? That's that unification. That's that global. So it starts with clef notes. And the first one.
Let's break that down. Where, chat room, was the Afrobeat born? The Afrobeat was born in the United States of America. Rooted in the drum set that's created in the United States of America. Not African drums. Ain't no djembe drums in Africa, in Afrobeat. Kick drum, snare, hi-hat, cymbal. It's an American-born drum set, and it's a beat that's born in America by way of Jamaica. What they call that Afrobeat is really Jamaican dancehall, just like reggaeton. Afrobeat and the dancehall, and the dancehall, these were all spin-offs of Black American rhythms, Black American backbeat. And Fela came to America. The dancehall beat that people thrive off of was done here by way of Jamaica. And the Afrobeat is a Jamaican beat that was rooted in American rhythms. Let me tell you something. The Black American backbeat has already unified the world. When he's talking about unifying the world, and it's a cool attempt, I ain't mad. He's an artist. I'm not mad at Wyclef, but I want to give us as Black Americans credit. The swing is what, out of America, is what undergirded what was going on in Brazil in the 1920s and 30s. In Latin America in the 40s and 50s. The 2/4 rhythm and blues backbeat is what already went across the world. It's the Black, when you listen to pop music from across the world, go to my article, read this article. The 2/4 backbeat. When that beat comes in, it went around the world, and the world adapted this beat. So whatever you do, Black America already did it.
Who more than said?
Ray Charles is the one that standardized the bandstand. Keys, drums, bass, guitar. That was standardized by Ray Charles. All of your UK skiffle artists, all of your ska, rocksteady, bossa nova, all of these artists took the beat that Ray Charles organized, the rhythms, the instruments that Ray Charles organized, that James Brown gave its body, that Motown gave its popularity. This is Marvin Gaye on the drums. Dancing in the Street changed party music forever in 1965. With Marvin Gaye on the drums. We know about Marvin Gaye as one of the greatest singers of all time, but it was his beat that organized one of the greatest dance rhythms that the world had ever seen. Two-four backbeat. This is what gave hip hop the pocket to rap in. It's hard to rap to a swing. You can rap to a swing. We had been rapping the swing, but rap didn't make sense until this hardcore, funky. That's when hip hop started making sense, when we did that. The 2/4, what we call groove. What we call groove. Bobby Bird.
Don't let the green grass fool you. I know you don't like the faker. Tighten up.
That beat already organized the world. So all of your rock, reggae, rocksteady, all of that stuff comes out of a beat that we created, that got popularized in Los Angeles, recorded in New York, and blew up in Chicago. Chicago's what really brought it all together. LA was a small indie scene at that time with indie recording artists. But it was an LA scene that germinated the 2/4 backbeat on the snare. It was New York, Atlantic Records, that recorded it and made it mass produced for the first time with Big Joe Turner. This is recorded in New York. It was Big Joe Turner that really recorded it and sent the beat around the world.
Man, the chill is on.
Oh, that's before. That's pre 2-4 back beat. Big Joe Turner. Shake, rattle, and roll. That's what I want. This is what made it
I
go.
can't believe mine. All of this belongs to you.
But back then, we did that beat with a swing. It was in triplet format. It was either from the 40s to the 60s. That beat was, for the most part, through a swing or a shuffle. It was Ray Charles, Motown. It was Joe Tex. It was James Brown that took it from a swing, from a shuffle to a straight ahead 2-4. Every single innovation happened in the United States of America before it went around the world. Reggae, UK, Latin pop, J-pop, K-pop, they all took from a sound after we completely refined it in the juke joints, on the chitlin circuit, and in church. A sound that we organized in church. That's why I bring up the 5 blind boys of Mississippi in this article. That's why I brought in the 5 blind boys in Mississippi. In the church. I wasn't gonna take no calls. Hold on 1 second, caller. You listen. This is where James Brown got it from. That's in the church. And then from Our Father, the beat was there, and you hear that sound. That's in church. That's what James Brown grew up listening to. And from there, you get this. If you're on my Patreon, you get longer extended versions of this. But you see how James Brown got his sound? Going back to what that Akbar was talking about. Akbar is talking all that stuff about the black, about that they're talking about the Pentecostal church. The Pentecostal church was born in LA before it went back to the South. James Brown got his flavor from the pastors, from the church, and brought that flavor to the world. And it was in our churches and in our chitlin circuit juke joints that all of this got created. Not us fusing with Haiti, not Jamaican fusion, not African rhythms. No, we was in church segregated and wasn't none of y'all here to create none of this. And until y'all start showing respect for that, I'm going to be on all y'all asses. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, man, Duan, this is usual, man. The usual, man. What's up?
Hold on. You got to speak up. Who's that?
What's up?
Are you on the speakerphone? If you're on speakerphone, disconnect from speaker.
Oh, yeah. Hold up. I'm going to fix that. Right quick. Hold on.
That motherfucker sound like he talking from the cave.
So
there you go. There you go.
Me?
What's on your mind, bro? What's your name? Where you calling from?
He's Mustafa, man, the usual suspect that you don't like.
Mustafa. What's up? What's up, Mustafa? Where the Lion King at?
Right here. You know what I'm saying? Growing and, grooving and doing everything.
Yes, sir. What's on your mind?
But my problem with you, Diwan, I want you to be honest, bro. Simple as that.
Before you say, okay. Before you go further, okay. Where did I lie?
Right. The lie is, America existed for what, 250 years?
Longer than that? I've been here longer than that.
No, let's not do that. We're saying the so-called musical instruments that you are actually attributing to the modern day music, whatsoever, they haven't been around for that long. And going by your own theory,
they have not been around for that long. You're right.
Okay, so
we created them here.
No, it wasn't created here. That's the point.
What wasn't created?
I'm trying to make.
What wasn't created?
But it was not.
What was?
It was not.
What instrument?
Okay, so if listen to this, if you had chattel slavery and they brought along their values,
slaves weren't allowed to bring instruments, brother.
Oh my, no, they don't have to, but they can remake them in America too.
200 years later,
skillful men. Yes, they can.
How?
Like
question. The drum question.
Okay.
The drum set. First off, when there was no drum set that was made. What we know is a drum set right now. It took about 60 years to evolve, from around 1890 to about 19.
True.
That is true. Okay, prove it. Prove the drum set. Where was the hi-hat symbol in 1869?
Look, the thing is,
no.
You using terms. No, I'm saying you are using terms.
Hold on.
All right.
If you make a declarative statement, you're going to have to prove it. Where was the hi-hat symbol in the year 1900? Name a song that a hi-hat symbol was used in.
Look, you do know things evolve, right?
No.
Evolution is...
Stop.
Oh my God, here we go.
We gotta tell the truth.
So you don't believe in evolution. You do not believe in evolution.
Brother.
So you do not think that things can evolve from one thing to another, and then we call it something else.
Mobutu, I literally said,
Talk to me, brother. It's cool.
The drum set, literally said, took the drum set. What we know now is the drum set, I said it took about 60 years to get to what we now know as the standard drum set. Pieces got added.
So who created the drum set?
No one person created the drum set.
Oh my God! Oh my!
D.D. Chandler created the foot pedal for someone to use their foot to play a drum set in 1896.
Okay, and that's fine. No.
It's not that's fine. The kick pedal. When you see, what you got to understand about drum set, son. The kick drum is what drives the beat. And when a person
what bit are you talking about? What bit are you talking about though?
The Black American rhythm of the 2/4 backbeat. That's not found in Africa.
No. That's a lie. Actually, it's a lie.
Okay. Give me an indigenous African song in 4/4 time where the backbeat is on the 2 and the 4. Just give me one.
I'll give you.
I study music, brother. Give me one song.
No. Actually,
before 1960.
Listen. Oh, you saying 1960?
Because by 1960, y'all started copying us, nigga. That's why.
No. Look, I'm gonna give you this. You said that Afrobeat was created where in America, right?
Yes.
They use American sound system. I
say sound system. I said American instruments.
Okay, so I'm here to tell you that that's a lie.
Okay,
because
where's the lie? You haven't proven me lie.
The lie is
you haven't proven me one lie yet.
No, listen to me. No, listen to me.
Down the line.
Just listen. No. The lie is Afrobeat was never called no Afrobeat. It was called Afro-Manding. Afro-Manding. And you know what that means? It means Afro from Mandingo, from Mali, or like the Mali Empire. Like,
you don't give me a song.
No. I'm gonna give you a song. But Afro-Manding, it can be Afro-Manding without the kora. The kora instrument.
Give me a song so I can hear it, sir.
I can give you a song right now.
Fuck just a name.
Right now, type in Sona Kuyate. She is like the Beyonce of Afro-Manding, Afrobeats. She plays the chorus. She go crazy. Europeans are loving this.
Spell her name. Spell her name.
Sona Suso. Okay, SONASUSO. I'm telling you, she's crazy. She is like phenomenal, brother. And that's real Afrobeat right there. What you hear from her, that's Afrobeat. And this is the modernized version that these Nigerian people are using. And
right there, okay, I have her right here. That's an American drum set. That's underneath. That's a kick drum snare. That's not African drums. They're no African.
Bro,
she's not using African drums. Hold on. Be real quiet. Hold on one second. I'm gonna let the audience hear.
You gonna play?
Hold on. I'm letting the audience hear a song. Hold on.
Okay.
That's a drum set. When you hear that, that's a foot pedal. That is a click on a snare, and that is a hi-hat laying the groove down. And 100% of those instruments were born in the United States of America.
No,
you're
it's
listening
not.
to you're listening to this is a Black American knockoff.
Listen.
This is knockoff R&B.
Okay. She's playing the kora. So tell me how many Black American artists you know play the kora.
And that's where it diverges. Like again, when y'all do y'all Afro beats, when they do their reggae, they fuse it with their home sounds. But the underlying beat of it is American. I'm dealing with the beat.
It's not.
Those
are
African drums, son.
Listen to me, Diwan. The thing is, like, you are like mistaken.
Listen. I personally, on my website, if you go to my website, I sell sample packs, and I have my own Afrobeat sample packs that sell pretty good, by the way. Afrobeat artists buy my drum set sample packs.
And I applaud you for that.
When I made my sample packs, I made my Afrobeat sample packs the same way I made my Latin percussive sample packs. Let me listen to me on the drums right here. This is me playing. This is me personally playing the Afrobeat right here.
All right.
Wait, why is it going? Wait.
But the thing is,
hold on, listen.
I know. Okay.
This is me.
But I expect that from you because you Black.
Listen to this, because it's my music.
I understand. I'm saying
Afrobeat groove.
On
my drum set.
know that. No, I expect you to have the skill set because you're Black, obviously.
No,
my point
I don't have the skill set because I'm Black. Yeah, well, no, I do have the skill set because I'm Black. I have the skill set because that was on my native drum. That wasn't on wasn't on a djembe drum. It wasn't on a Latin drum. It wasn't on a Japanese drum. Every part of the world has their own signature drums. The Australian have their drum. Yes. The Chinese, the Japanese, the Koreans. We have our own signature drum. And the Africans are using our signature drum. So when I decided I'm going to create some Afrobeat sample packs, I just sat back on the same drum set I played in church.
I mean, you are a drummer, of course, a professional one too. So I expect that from you to.
That's why
be able to.
That's why, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's why, my good brother, since you know that I'm a professional drummer, you need to sit back and listen.
No, but my point. No. I mean, I have no problem with you having these takes on whatever the drum patterns or
like
whatever.
Knock off Alicia Keys, but go ahead.
No. My only point is like, I feel like you do not ever give Africa or people from the diaspora their credit.
Let me tell you what I feel. You
downplay.
And let me give you my issue.
How many? Okay. So
hold on. Let me tell you real quick. I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
Okay, can I ask you this question?
No, hell no. Before you ask me the question, hold your question. Before you ask me a question, we gotta close off what you just said. Then I'll let you ask your question. Let me close off what you just said. This is my issue. I provide names, dates, music, time. Music is all mathematics. Either it fits or it doesn't. You know math. You're African. You're good at math. In math, either it works, either the answer is solved or it's not. Music is complete math. And the mathematics are our music. I give the mathematics are our music. I give names, dates, times, invention. I answer the who, what, when, where, and why.
But instead of what you know.
Instead of you acknowledging that, you say I'm lying. And then when I ask you, okay, then you give me some names that predate my names. You give me some times that predate my times. And then we can have a discussion.
I already did.
But you never give me that. You gave me a woman that dropped the record 20 years ago.
No. I said, look at what tradition or what history or civilization.
She sounds like a nut.
No, listen. Just look at the civilization or whatever tradition that predates the Mali Empire or the Songhai Empire or the Ghana Empire back in the day. This was like in the 14th century. So they was making music and instruments, and you don't have record of this timeline.
Yes, I
So
can.
now I'm trying to tell you that
let me tell you something. The Tuscaloosa.
You want them to
No, so you do not know enough about America. Let me tell you.
No, I actually know more about
America
than you, I think.
The Tuscaloosa, they're known as the Black Warriors.
But
when
this
the
is the
Spanish, hold on, let me
1900s,
finish.
so this is like the 60s
You brought up Mali. No, I'm glad you brought up Mali. I'm glad you
Yes.
brought up Mali. Because when Spanish
Mali
explorers
Empire.
came to America, they brought up Tuscaloosa. They brought up the Mississippi Warrior Valley. That they were known as it's called Black Warrior Valley. Before Mississippi was named Mississippi, it was named the Black Warrior Valley. Listen up. And the
So
Black
when did
Warrior
Columbus
Valley
get to America?
civilization extended
and
from
the British Empire.
Louisiana.
When did they get to America?
It extended from
When-
Louisiana. Are you talking? Are you talking? Quiet.
No, go ahead.
It extended from Louisiana all the way up, and it went to the Cuyahoga Mounds. And do you know that Black Warrior civilization, when the Spanish got there, they said that civilization started around the year 400 and expired around the year 1500. The Black Warrior civilization was around before the Songhai civilization. The Songhai civilization came around the height of Songhai was between 1000 AD and about 1500 AD. Well, the Black Warrior Valley civilization lasted from around 400 AD to about 1500 AD.
I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to fact check. We're gonna have to fact check.
I'm giving you.
No, we have to.
Let me give you another.
Somebody
one.
in the chat, please fact check what he's saying. I'm just asking.
Let me give you a name. Mobutu. Let me give you a name to fact check. Look up the name.
Mobutu. Oh, a great ruler too.
Hiawatha in the year 1142, 42. That's where the term "bury the hatchet" came from, because the Iroquois tribes in the upper Northeast were facing outside threat. The 5 so-called civilized tribes in the upper Northeast, the Mohawk, and I'm drawing the Mohawk, the Iroquois, and it's a couple other. Their civilization came around the year 1100, and they created an Iroquois confederacy that lasted from 1141 until 1776. And it was all put together by a man named Hiawatha around the area now known as Buffalo, New York. That's a confederacy that lasted up, and that's the confederacy that Benjamin Franklin, in his own memoirs, said that he got the idea from a Senate and a Congress or American history, my brother.
No. Let me tell you one thing.
No.
Do you know that that's really?
You need to go and educate yourself. You need to get education.
I'm gonna let you know this.
You need to educate. Get an education
Can I just
on
get my
Black
seat into?
American culture. I will give you 30 seconds to say your last thing that you got to say. You got 30 seconds and then we out. We got to move on.
So, I mean, to me, my whole point is just that, like, when you make these timelines, to me,
I don't make the timeline. I read the timeline.
No. I mean, okay, fine.
I don't create the fucking timeline.
You just kind of like pin it to a certain error, and that's just the error that you know.
You didn't
and that's the error you know.
You didn't prove
when I try to like further the conversation that, bro, if you're gonna speak about an error and you know for a fact that this is not the only error that ever existed, how can you just come to a conclusion that everything started from what you are talking about?
That's a good question. So if you don't know everything that existed, how can you conclude that it came from Africa?
Again, we have proofs. We have artifacts.
That is the answer,
we
brother.
Have
you have a good day. This nigga. He tried to bring up the Songhai civilization when the Mississippi Warrior Valley civilization was around longer than the Songhai. According to Spanish conquistadors, when they came through Louisiana Black Warrior Valley, the civilization was already over 100 years in decline. When they came into Mississippi in the 1500s, they said then that the civilization that existed was already toppled and the regions were in internal conflict. And that's what allowed the French and the Spanish to penetrate the Black Warrior Valley. because the civilization had already been crumbled by 100 years by the time they got there. And you had groups of people who were still fighting the fallout from a collapse of a civilization that Europeans benefited from and used to manipulate and sign land treaties that got that land into Europeans' hands. All you gotta do is read what the Spanish and the French were saying. It all comes from us. Do y'all notice that he was not able to tell me anything about anything that I was wrong? He just felt I was wrong, but he could not tell me I was wrong. Black people, don't fall for people's feelings. Going back to the drum set, for those of you who want a little further education, let me educate you on the drum set.
It came from.
When I say the foot,
Such as James.
the foot is that pedal at the bottom right there that Dennis Chambers is playing. This is a group called the Fatback that he's playing that comes out of New Orleans from the meters. The snare, the kick.
Or try to remember.
Here we go. This is not the Fatback. He's gonna play I Got the Feeling by James Brown. Look at the foot. This is uniquely American. One person playing four things. Come on, Dennis. This is American drums right here. That hi-hat is American. Chick Webb is who normalized the hi-hat. Those tom-toms you see, that was out of New Orleans. He and his brother. He played with the King Oliver Creole, Baby Dodds. And Baby Dodds is the one that normalized those tom-toms. But Baby Dodds' grandfather was an Indian. And the tom-toms come from the American Indian water drum, the water law. These are water drums. And when you see those toms, those are water drums. That kick comes from D.D. Chandler in New Orleans. That ride cymbal, and that comes, I don't know, it's unclear who came up with the ride cymbal. I think it's Baby Dodds too. And that hi-hat comes from Chick Webb. None of it existed in Africa. And as you see a Black American drum set, it holds 0 components over from anything African. Everything you see here is 100% born in the United States of America. Everything. Not only was the instrument born here, the division of the beats used were born here too. And I teach this to the kids. I teach this to the kids. This is the beat last night. Salute to J-Mo and Charlie. We had a good foundation of Black American time at the Blue Note. Listen to J-Mo's version of Funky Good Time last night. Chris Dave on drums. That's a shuffle. That rhythm they playing on Funky Good Time, that's called a shuffle. That's a completely Black American rhythm. Somebody said, I don't want to put down other places from other, for just being from other places. Well, you don't do it. It's not about what you would do. That dude was putting down Black America, Shorty B. What am I supposed to do? Take it? Are we supposed to be like, oh man, it's okay. He dissing Black American. He ain't got no proof of anything he's saying. He's just saying Black Americans didn't do it with no proof. And I'm supposed to say, hey, we're all brothers. He's totally disrespecting my culture, saying saying my culture didn't create what it created. So my response is supposed to be, well, it's all okay. No, if he's going to disrespect my culture and say my culture didn't create what I'm proving we created, I'm going to be disrespectful in return. I believe in matching energy. I start off nice. I explain, I teach. But if I get resistance, and if your resistance gets disrespectful of me, I'm going to match your energy. Don't make it seem as if the Black American is just punching down on the lowly African. No. He came and called in disrespecting what I can solidly prove. That's disrespectful. Disrespect meets disrespect. I'm not better than anybody. I'm gonna get to you, caller, in about 2 minutes. Like, one thing we gotta get over Black people is this: we're just morally, oh my God, we just got to rise above and turn the other cheek. No, we don't have to turn the other cheek. Martin Luther King turned the other cheek and still ended up dead. Okay? You don't turn the other cheek. When people disrespect you, you got to show them that that disrespect is going to be matched with the energy to where now they're going to have to think twice when they interact with you next time. Are they going to be disrespectful or not? Because as long as you turn the other cheek and say, I'm just better than that, they can disrespect me, guess what's going to keep happening? They're going to keep disrespecting you. And I don't like being disrespected. Nobody likes being disrespected. So don't disrespect me. I don't disrespect you. All this I'm better than? Now I'm going to play this little clip from last night, then I'm going to get to the caller. This is J-Mo playing, J-Mo and Charlie Burrell, and Chris Dave was on drums. Chris Dave is the person you see with the cymbals that are all wrapped around like that. Those cymbals, when every time you see a cymbal stack that's done like that, that's an invention that Chris Dave created. The person you're seeing on the drums right now is probably the most innovative drummer in the world post 2000. He played with D'Angelo's Vanguard, and he's done so many things to the drum set, modifying the drum set. We as Black Americans, we're continuing to evolve the drum set. It's continuing to evolve. And one of the main people that are evolving the drum set is right here on the drums on this video you see right here, Chris Dave. But listen to J-Mo on the guitar. You notice J-Mo and Charlie. J-Mo and Charlie, they're not playing the banjo. They're not playing the lute. They're not playing the kora. They're playing the United States of America guitar. Playing a shuffle, a United States of American beat on a United States of American drum set and bass. Listen to this. J-Mo was getting it. I'm gonna get to you, caller. This is our shit. That's not a banjo. That's not a kora. Goddamn thing African about this. That's us. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, Dewan, what up, bro? It's Khalil Roberts, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I like callers like that, bro. Like the African brother, bro. Because when you get callers like that, you get in your bag, bro, and started, actually teaching some things that, man, hey, we need to actually hear, bro. And to the African brothers and sisters, bro, we do not hate, bro. Like, man, I'm a light skinned brother, and I've been roasted so hard for being light skinned and everything, and jokes. I done had everything come with the kitchen table. If it was a joke about light skin, I was called it, bro. And you know what? I'm still prideful, and that taught me the gift of gab to actually come back. So, salute to our African brothers and sisters, us in the FBA, bro. We ain't trying to hate on y'all, but if y'all disrespect, yes, we got something coming back for you. But the next just a quick question for you, man.
Yeah.
I got into a little debate real quick that was on TikTok, and we was talking about the influence of Michael Jackson and other people. The question was, it was a whole bunch of Gen Z, which was who influence was just as big as Michael Jackson. Yeah, obviously, we can say Prince and stuff like that, which what I led with, obviously Prince, and Smokey Robinson from back in the day. But who would you put out there that you would say, besides them, that would had an influence that was big like Michael Jackson?
Nobody was as big as Michael Jackson. Nobody. You can't. People got to. Well, this is what we as Black Americans got to stop doing.
Yeah.
We have to learn. The same way hip hop in New York has to learn to give LL Cool J his own space where he's not comparable to anybody else because of what he did in hip hop. Michael Jackson, this level of fame. Michael Jackson was more famous than Jesus when he lived, and probably still is.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson is more famous than the Pope. You gotta realize Michael Jackson grew up in the 80s. Michael Jackson was more famous than Princess Diana, and she was Princess Diana was more famous than any artist. In 1988, 1990, she was the most famous woman in the world. Michael Jackson was on a level of fame and notoriety, and he had a level of reach that has never been touched in recorded history, in the most recent history. We got to learn to say, move Michael Jackson out of the argument. Now let's start. Who do you want to say who's compared to who? You can't put Michael Jackson in no argument. Not even Prince. Babies cry. My 10-year-old niece was Michael Jackson had been dead by the time for 10 years. Michael Jackson died about the week after my niece was born. My niece realized at 10 years old, 10 years after Michael Jackson was dead, that my sister had to break her the news, like, Michael Jackson's dead. And my niece cried.
Yeah.
No one, and I love Prince, but no one's getting that level of, even Princess Diana. Michael Jackson was more famous than Jesus. Leave him out of any discussion. Jesus and Muhammad are the only two people you can compare levels of fame. Jesus, Muhammad, and Buddha. Those are the only three people you can compare to Michael Jackson.
Yeah, real spit, bro. I love when you get to preaching, bro. Yeah, and I appreciate that, bro. And who was that you were saying that brought the kick drum again?
D.D. Chandler.
D.D. Chandler. That is okay. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate that, man.
All right, man.
To you in peace, bro.
Yeah. I believe Stevie Wonder was probably a greater artist than Michael Jackson as far as musically. Stevie Wonder to me is a greater artist than Michael Jackson and Prince. But what Michael Jackson, what he got to, you can't compare it. Can't compare it. Even James Brown. You can barely compare people to James Brown and his level of fame. James Brown stopped riots and threw a concert in Africa in the 70s around the Muhammad Ali fight. Like, we can't, but like Michael Jackson needs to be pulled from any argument. Don't compare him to Beyonce, Chris Brown, Prince. You only compare Michael Jackson to Jesus, Muhammad, and Buddha. That's it. That's it. Maybe Shiva or some shit. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, this is Professor Key calling from the Bay Area.
Professor Key, what's on your mind?
So thank you for this. I love this. This has been really great. And I want to tell you that a few weeks ago, I was researching for a book that I wrote for a rap class that I just taught in Oakland, California. And your video popped up.
Oh yeah?
And I called in that day. Yeah, I spoke to you that day. It was a video about that woman saying Google it.
Oh yeah,
All
yeah,
you have
yeah.
to do is Google it. So yeah, I just want to tell you, like, you influenced me, like it was just so divine timing. I wrote a song about that, which you'll hear very soon. I started recording that song.
Hell yeah.
But I also included you as a reference in the book that I just wrote and gave to my students. It's a playbook because I'm in music education as well. I'm a musician and music educator over 30 years. And the information that you shared with me about the DJs is something that I hadn't considered about DJs rapping and the influence that they had in that. So I said all that to say I'm about to join the Patreon. Do you do Zooms on the Patreon?
I do on Patreon. I do it within the Patreon chat, but for those in the Music University, and if this not just for the call for anybody in Music University, y'all can always reach out to me. A lot of times people in the Patreon, they don't be reaching out to me, but I will do for people in the Music University tier. If y'all want to do if you want to do like a Q&A, or if no one else wants to do it, you want to do like a private 30-minute question and answer. If you're on that Music University tier, I got you. Yeah, we can talk.
Okay, good. Because I want to get you the book for one, and then music because I've come from a legacy of musicians, and so it's an album. My mother is legendary with this. You may have heard her. Her name is Faye Carroll.
Yeah.
But she's out of the Bay Area, and she released the album with Dennis Chambers playing the drums.
Hell yeah, that's my favorite drummer.
Yeah,
I know
you
who
always
Faye
talk about
Carroll
Dennis
is.
Chambers.
Yeah. I don't
that's
know
my
her,
mom,
but I
so
know I'm
she's been
familiar with her
watching your
music.
videos. She's been loving your videos too. We've been
That's
really going
dope.
in on your videos. Yeah, so I want to get you the records and the books and everything like
Yes.
that. So I'm gonna join the Patreon today, and I'll just reach out through there.
All right, that'd be dope. And I also, when you reach out, since I know that you're a teacher, I can give you a few more things that to really help you with organizing. Because one thing that I hate is because when we black folks, we got to be right. We wrong about one thing. No, the whole thing is wrong. So that you're a teacher,
right.
I'll give you some additional resources beyond me so you can verify directly the source what it is you want to get to. All right.
That's super dope. I appreciate you.
All right, you have a good one. Yeah, you teach kids. I got you. I got you.
Okay, cool.
You have a good one.
Have a good day. Peace.
Yeah, man. You teach kids. I got you, man. Because our babies need to know. I ain't got no ego when it comes to this shit. It's about the information, not about me being the end all be all of information, like these YouTube dudes be doing. Come to me. Fuck all that. You teach kids. I got you. Look at this. This J-Mo again last night. And Charlie. Charlie did a great job with this. This is a Frankie Beverly and Maze song that he did. This was when Frankie Beverly, she called it from the Bay. I'm gonna get right to you, Scotty. She called it from the Bay. But Frankie Beverly and Maze is out from Philadelphia, and they were a group out of Philadelphia named Raw Soul. And when they left Philadelphia, they went to Oakland. And they got discovered in Oakland by Marvin Gaye. And Marvin Gaye is the one that told them to change their name from Raw Soul. And that's how I got to Frankie Beverly and Maze. But this is a song called I Need You that was on Frankie Beverly and Maze's first album. But this was recorded before that. This is a version that they did in 1976 in the Bay that Charlie, this motherfucker, smashed it last night. I'm going to get right to you, caller. But I want to play this quick little version of this song, Charlie Burrell. And he's a death row artist, a singer. Listen to this. Chris Dave on drums.
Needs a soul, like the winter needs the cold. Let you there. I need you.
I didn't get the part. thought I had the guitar solo on here. I don't have the guitar solo on this one. Is it up here? Is it on this one? Listen to that soul right there. We got our own music conversation going on here in the United States, y'all. What's up, caller? What's up? This Scotty on the phone. What's on your mind, brother?
Scotty Jenkins, Cleveland 216. What's up, man? How everybody doing, man? Shout out to the P1 family.
Good hearing from you, my brother.
Man,
What's on your
dude,
mind?
I was listening to that. I don't know what that dude was, man. I like what the one caller said. I love when they do call up and you give them that education in real time. You hit them with you give them the times, the day. You even bring up songs. You bring up everything, and you just kept asking, just give me one song. Just give me one song. Couldn't give you nothing, but want to sit here and talk about what I feel. Man, I feel like you musty, man, and you need to get off the phone, man, and go take care of that situation, homie. I'm all the way in Cleveland. I'm like, oh, man, what? I'm looking at my kid. I'm like, y'all smell that? Oh, okay. No, but to get to the through the chase, why is it that these Africans want to make us African? They go after Cameron. They going after everybody. They're trying to bring Wyclef in here. I don't hear these guys going after Jamaicans.
Right.
I don't hear them going after the Caribbeans. I don't hear them saying, "Oh, you're not Jamaican. You're African." Dude, my elders. Oh, I've said this before on your podcast before, man. My elders are vote blue no matter who, and they Pan African.
Yeah.
In their 60s. But hey, it's funny because they from Mississippi. They came up to Cleveland in the early 90s. So they are strictly, the whatever it is, Q dogs, all of that. And when I try to talk to them about this, all they do is call, I'm just a young, dumb N-word that don't know nothing. And it's very frustrating because I'm like, hey, man, well, we all from Africa. I said, no, we ain't. Okay, yeah, civilization started, but yeah, that ain't what we are. People been here a long time. I wasn't even hip to the Mississippi Valley State Black Warriors until you said it. They allegedly was established, not allegedly, but documented in 400 AD.
Around 400 or 500 AD. Their civilization lasted till about 1400, but the civilization lasted like 1,000 years. And we look at Keohoka, the civilizations in the Mississippi Valley were cities, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80,000 people in those cities. Those Keohoka mounds outside of St. Louis, that civilization, they say, had over 60,000 people in that city. And we're talking about in the year 1200.
And I'm going to replay this back because my people from Jackson, Mississippi. And so when I bring up to them, I say, so how you going to overlook your grandfather, your great-grandfather, your great-grandmother, your great-great-great?
Ask them. They from Mississippi? Ask them to look up a lot of the cities in Mississippi and Alabama are named after different tribes and different people. Tell them to look up, for Alabama, Tuscaloosa and what that means. Tuscaloosa was a king.
I brought that one up. I brought that up because Tariq brought that to my attention before, and I brought that up. They looked at me as if they know what I was talking about. They called me, here you go with that dumb young nigga shit. I'm like, but I'm trying to give you education because obviously they educated people. You ain't been to college, what you know? I said, man, I'm a truck driver.
Right.
But you ain't go to college. So
and I've been to college. They ain't teaching us that shit in college.
They don't. You brought it. I ain't gonna hold my limb on playing, but I remember, what was it, a year or two, maybe 3 ago, maybe during the pandemic.
Yeah.
You brought to my attention that it was a college looking for H1B1s to teach African American studies and basketball.
Yep. They're looking for H1Bs to teach basketball in college, right? In South Carolina.
Vivek Swami, what is Vivek Swami and not Black Kamala Harris' cousin gonna teach us about any of that?
Right.
Nothing.
All them broke ass former NBA players, they couldn't take that job.
Shop man, I'll leave it at that. Salute. B1.
You have a good one. Somebody says Stevie Wonder is not a better artist than Michael Jackson or Prince. You do know that Stevie Wonder first hit was at the age of 13, right? You do know that Stevie Wonder wrote all of most of his music. You do know that Stevie Wonder played every instrument. You do know that Stevie Wonder is Michael Jackson's cousin. You do know that a lot of Prince's vocal stylings is him sounding like Stevie, right? specifically his diaphragm voice. You do know that, right? You do know that Stevie Wonder was somebody that put Bob Marley on, right? You do know that Stevie Wonder's run from the 4-album run from Fulfilling This Is First Finale to Talking Book to Intervisions to Songs in the Key of Life is probably the greatest 4-1 album in music history, right? Don't never challenge me on no goddamn Stevie Wonder. Prince will tell you, Prince will bow down when he was alive. Prince bowed down to Stevie. Michael learned from his cousin Stevie. Stop it. You don't know who the fuck Stevie Wonder is, nigga. All these keyboard sounds, Stevie was the first to have an all-electric horn section and string section. All these keyboards that we see right now that are normalized, it was Stevie. Stevie and Herbie Hancock were the two most prominent two. You still had Entombed, Bernie Worrell, and others. But Stevie and Herbie, they're the ones, all of these synthesizers that we're so used to now, programming drums. A lot of that stuff was given to Stevie first. And Stevie broke the mold on how to program a lot of these sounds that became popular 80s sounds. Stevie was using those sounds in the 70s. Better respect Stevie Wonder, nigga. But Michael Jackson is the greatest entertainer of our time. Yeah. Yeah, Stevie Wonder was the root of the Minneapolis. The whole Minneapolis sound was built off of Stevie Wonder's use of those instruments. You dig? But I've been here longer than I thought I would be. I've been here longer than I thought I would be. Y'all have to make sure you have a good one. I don't know. We may do a late night live tonight, depending on how I feel. We'll see. But yeah, Godfrey, leave us alone. 154 Africa podcast, leave us alone. And every time y'all talk about every time y'all talk about your cultural music, I'm at the point now I'm going on offense. I'm on offense. No, you're not. It's no longer cool that you guys talk about your music and leave out the Black American influence on your music. Every time y'all do that, I'm going to bring up the Black American roots of your music and the Black American influence, because there's more Black American influence on your music than it is on ours. So we got to go on offense. And another thing, ain't no more of that, oh man, you don't have to be, you don't have to crack jokes and say all that stuff. That if somebody disrespects me, or my culture, I'm going to be disrespectful in return. I'm not going to open the door with disrespect. I'm going to open the door pleasant. I'm going to open the door nice. I'm going to be civil. But if you can't be civil towards me and I'm giving you information and you just say, no, that's not it. No. And you call me a liar, dude flat out called me a liar. And then when I asked him to tell me where I lied, he couldn't tell me. Now if he said, no, Dewan, you are a liar. There is a hi-hat in Africa in 1818. And it was created by Mzungu Mabubu. And he put it on a ship to America in 1891. And then it gets to New Orleans. And if you can say, and read it in this book right here, and play this song right there so you can hit it. If you say that, then you know what I got to do? I got to be like, I was wrong. I'm sorry. But if you just say, I feel like I'm right, I feel like you're wrong, then no, that's disrespectful. I done did all these years of research and playing, and you can't at least give me a reference, a source, a song? Then yes, I'm going to be disrespectful. Why? Because it's funny. And if you're wasting my time, I need to laugh. The whole time I was talking to him, I was laughing. I like to I make myself laugh. If you guys don't laugh, then that's on you. Chat room, did y'all laugh? I don't even know if y'all was laughing or not, because I wasn't even looking at the chat. I wasn't even saying all that for y'all. I had to make myself laugh from the disrespect. It's either you gonna laugh or you gonna get angry. What, do you want me to get mad? And be like, no, brother. No, we just gonna agree to disagree. No, I'm gonna take the high road. You've been disrespecting me, and I was gonna take the high road, and we is just going to agree to disagree. Shit, not me. I need something out of it. You disrespect me, I need to laugh. And I'm gonna make myself laugh at your expense. All right? Y'all was laughing? All right, cool. I'm glad y'all laughed. I'm glad y'all laughed. Because I'm telling y'all the truth. The whole time I was talking to him, the reason why I wasn't looking at the chat, because I knew y'all was going to tell me to stop. Especially if C. Diggs is sitting here. I knew y'all was going to tell me, DeJuan, move on. So I didn't want y'all telling me to move on, so I didn't look at the chat. I made myself laugh. Google it. Google it. I love y'all. Y'all have a good one.